Hello. So today I'm going to be sharing about the Emergency Nurses Association, or ENA, and the American Nurses Association's position on ethics and human rights. So I'll go over who can join ENA, what it costs, why it's such an important organization, and the resources and advocacy work they do. I'll also connect this to professionalism and how I see myself growing as a nurse. So who can join? The great thing about ENA is that it's open to a wide range of people. Registered nurses in the US can join, but it's not just for them. Nursing students like me can become members at a discounted rate, which is awesome for networking and getting involved early. There are also memberships for people who aren't nurses but want to support ENA, plus senior and lifetime options for older nurses. And if you're working internationally, there's even a global membership, so no matter where you are in your career, there's a way to be part of ENA. So what does it cost? Membership costs are actually pretty reasonable. A full RN membership is about $115 a year, but students only pay $25, or even only $20 if you're part of the Student Nurses Association. Seniors and affiliates pay around $60 a year. There are also 3-year and 5-year options that save money in the long run. I like that they give flexible payment options too, so joining feels doable no matter what your budget is. So some interesting facts. ENA isn't just about paying dues, they offer a lot in return. Members get free continuing education hours every year and access to more than 150 clinical practice guidelines and toolkits. They also publish the Journal of Emergency Nursing and their magazine, ENA Connection, which keeps you up to date on what's happening in the field. ENA represents almost 45,000 nurses worldwide, and they work with groups like the American Academy of Pediatrics to set care standards. Plus, there are local chapters so that you can meet other nurses in your area and build networks. Legislative involvement. One of the coolest things about ENA is how active they are in advocacy. They don't just talk about issues, they take them to lawmakers. Their main focus areas are things like preventing workplace violence, improving staffing, and supporting nurse practitioner practice authority. They also have a grassroots network called EN 411 that lets members connect with legislators directly. And ENA puts out position statements on big issues like firearm safety, climate change, LGBTQ patient care, and pediatric readiness. They're really out there making sure nurses' voices are heard. Publication. ENA also puts out a ton of resources for nurses. The Journal of Emergency Nursing publishes research and clinical updates, while ENA Connection is more about news and member stories. On top of that, there are practice guidelines, toolkits, and position statements to help guide evidence-based care. They even have podcasts and press releases to keep members connected. So basically, if you want to keep learning and stay informed, ENA makes sure you've got all the tools. So switching over to the ANA for a minute, their positions on ethics and human rights is really important for all nurses. It comes down to 5 big ideas. First, we have to respect every patient's dignity and worth. Second, care has to be equal and unbiased no matter who the patient is. Third, nurses should advocate, not just for patients, but for coworkers and communities. Fourth, we're responsible for helping create ethical workplaces. And finally, human rights apply in every setting, not just the hospital, but community and public health too. These points are like a foundation for ethical practice. Advocacy as a nurse. So, as a future nurse, I see myself carrying these values into practice, which means to me speaking up when I notice something isn't right, whether it's unsafe conditions, discrimination, or a patient not getting the information they need. I'll make sure my patients understand their options and can make their own choices. I want to be mindful of my own biases and practice cultural humility so everyone gets fair treatment. I also see myself getting involved in advocacy at the unit or hospital level, maybe even through professional organization. And of course, I'll try my best to educate and empower patients so they feel in control of their care. Professionalism and identity. To me, professionalism in nursing means showing integrity, being accountable, and always trying to grow. I see myself as both a caregiver and an advocate. I want to keep learning throughout my career so my care stays up to date and evidence-based. I also believe leadership is a part of our professional identity, even if we're not in official leadership roles. We can lead by example, mentor others, and speak up for safety. And because nursing can be tough, I think resilience and moral courage is huge. My goal is to build a career where I can provide excellent care while also standing up for patients' rights and dignity.